let's see here. Okay, so now we got the 10 Commandments of Sales. According
this from?
to Grant
I
Cardone.
love that everything
Grant.
is in list form.
Yeah, they love their lists, don't they?
They do. They truly do. And before I read this, I gotta say, that's a meme, but he posted a caption for the meme, and he says, "The weekend means relaxation. Yeah. The weekend means relaxation, right? Wrong. The weekend should be used as a way to stay on top of your game. If you're in sales, which you probably are, even if you don't know it, it's crucial to practice the 10 Commandments of sales."
That's so awesome. He's saying, like, you probably don't even realize, dumb fuck, but you're in sales. Every day you're in sales, dummy.
Well, I'm sure that, like, when you meet Grant Cardone, every conversation is a sales pitch. I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to sell you all the time. Well, he goes, while the majority are out here resting, make sure you're putting in the work to truly be the best in your industry. So, the 10 Commandments.
So don't have fun.
No, don't take a weekend. The weekend is not for having fun. You know what's fun? Selling stuff.
But what are you working for? I guess eventually they want to retire, right? The sales guys, they want to retire, and then they play their golf, and then that's when they live it up. Because, like, if you're not hanging out on the weekend enjoying the money you make, what are you doing?
Let me look up the guy because he's like calls himself the world's richest man. His name's Dan Peña.
Well, I think Elon Musk is.
Yeah, I think there's numbers.
Like, I think there's a few big names in there that you kind of got at the top of the list. They're sort of always there.
Maybe he approaches wealth as non-monetary. He feels wealthy because he's allowed to sell things.
I see.
He's rich in experience.
He's rich in money, his money as well as his sales.
Right, lifestyle.
Well, his name is Dan Peña, and he's 77 years old, and he's still selling.
So I think that's maybe what happens to a lot of them too, is they're just like, hey, what I'm going to do is I'll work really hard now, but then I have this money that I can, but then they just get intoxicated by it and they can't stop selling.
And his nickname is the $1 trillion man. That's his nickname.
Well, if that's true, that's more than Elon, I think. Then maybe so. Maybe we're actually wrong here. Should we look it up, Dan?
I don't think Dan Peña is the $1 trillion man, and I think it's something to do with potential.
I do like that both his nicknames are just lies. I'd be like if I was like Mr. 6'8".
Yeah,
that's my nickname.
So he has 450 million. That's what they say his net worth. I mean, it's a lot. But I'm just saying, in today's day and age, that doesn't even get you in the conversation.
What
for world's richest man?
And $1 trillion is so much money, so well past.
But
that. But I think he goes by it because I used to cover him on the other show. I think he does actually go by Mr. $1 trillion because he has the potential to make $1 trillion.
So do I.
No, I don't know. 77.
I mean, really, if you think about it, though, I mean, it's wild stuff would have to happen, but potentially any one of us could make $1 trillion. I
plan to, actually.
Took him 77 years to get to 450 million, though. He's going to need to pick up the pace too.
But Zach, he's not gonna die the same time frame as like he's gonna probably make it to like 140 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Well,
then,
here
maybe
I can introduce you guys to a little Dan Peña real quick. This is his how sales work. So this is something he says. He calls himself a high performance individual, right? Like he's a real. Actually, let's do the key to selling anything. Here we go.
There's no such thing as work-life balance. None.
Okay, so he is saving money on microphones because he's not using one of those properly.
Hey, cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button.
Hang on a second.
I didn't listen.
I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, that's totally an inappropriate word to use. I used to use that as my nickname. This very podcast, or on Shocktober, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was unexpected. You don't That was very unexpected. So he's Grant Cardone is very much like this as well, by the way. You know, he's very sort of brash and like vulgar almost, and like, hey, dummy, hey, fucking it, you know, like he's really like that. So I think this is kind of a lot of them take from I don't know. I think he was one of the original guys. Like,
well, I think Dan Peña is one of the original. He's 77
You think he took it from
old.
Dan?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Listen to this guy. Listen to him go.
The key to selling, only one key. Don't take no for an answer.
Oh, I just heard that's not the key to selling.
Wait a second. let me ask you about something specific, Dan. What about if we're selling meat? And like, I wonder what Dan would say. It's funny. I think you're totally right. I think Grant Cardone might have looked up to this guy because he is kind of doing his thing, and you could tell he used to have more energy before. Now he looks a lot like Logan Roy.
Yes,
He does.
And Dan Peña does a thing every year where he owns a castle and he invites people to his castle and teaches them about sales. And it's like a thing they do every year because people like really look up to him. And here, I'm going to let it play for a second and you'll see why.
Ever. Now that sounds pretty braggadocious, pretty fucked up, right? And you're thinking there are times when no, there isn't. If you have the mindset that there is a proper time for a no, then guess what? You're going to get a lot of fucking no's.
Oh.
Or you'll be more readily accept the no's. I didn't have a 94.6% closing ratio because I accepted no's. I mean, you either left in a fucking...
It's not such a nice place he's in, by the way. It just changed the angle, and he's like in some like Hilton, you know, like it's got this really old, it doesn't look nice, the hotel.
A cardboard cutout of him.
Yeah, there's
and
a
he's
cardboard.
Dressed like a man who would tie someone to a railroad track.
Yeah, he's got a pinstripe like 3-piece suit on with like a little pocket thing and he really looks like a fucking caricature of a person.
He does. He looks like if somebody like told a political cartoonist to draw a billionaire.
Yeah.
This is what he would draw.
I think he's not even a billionaire though. He's trying to seem like a billionaire, I think, with the way he's dressing and carrying himself. But if I were him, I would have asked them not to use this camera angle because it sort of undercuts everything that he has been fucking saying here and everything he's presenting himself as.
Well, the meme behind him too is,
I mean, it's a ridiculous, if you could see, it has like these striped, like, I can't even describe it. It really just does look like an old, like 1990s, small town hotel banquet hall.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the most generic room you could imagine it taking place in.
Yeah. It's very unimpressive. And before, it looked kind of like with the background or whatever, when it was shot from the other angle, it kind of looked fine, but now it looks so unimpressive.
I got to imagine there's fucking maybe 80 people in the room.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe.
That's a pretty good turnout, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A stretcher, in a box, or bought. And he's not at that end, but he's pretty close to that end. So, I mean, what is it that we can change about the situation so it would make you say yes? Remember I told you about that earlier? Same thing with a bank. And about 50% of the time, you can turn the bank.
Well, I think he's saying 50% of the time you can get the bank to say that, get the bank to say they were wrong, I guess.
Or like you get them to like lend you the money that they weren't going to. I don't know if maybe bank in this like context, this means something different than an actual bank.
Right. Could be some lingo.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Here, we'll see if there's a.
You can, as they used to say, you can flip them.
Oh, he smiled.
But I like flipping Bible thumpers.
Okay.
That's my specialty.
Okay.
Give me a fucking strong, zealot Bible thumper. I'll show you a good, strong QLA candidate. Not because of the fact that he believes in a deity or deity, but because he's got the
deity.
Yeah, it's deity. He realized quite quickly, but unfortunately they were doing it live, so he wasn't able. I mean, I guess he could have edited it out of the final product, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go back to Cardone's weekend thing here for you guys, where he said...
This guy, Dan, fuck.
Yeah, you got to look into Dan Peña. He is something else. He just screams
I am fascinated by him.
Yeah. Here.
Why
Do a
does
little
he
more,
wanna,
Dan?
why Bible thumpers? That's what I'm interested in.
Okay, here we go.
And he's saying he can turn them into salespeople?
Or
Is
Satan.
that
Or
what
no,
he's
he
talking
can turn them on a sale, I think.
about? I see.
I don't know for sure, though.
Okay, here he goes.
Zealot in them. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the zealot. But I mean, in the old days, people used to come to your door and sell shit. Then they dress up in a suit. And, okay, and a lot of people are abusive to those people in the old days that used to come door to door, right?
Because they're awful.
Well, I mean, if you can take that abuse door to door, you can fucking do QLA for sure.
What is QLA anyways? Some sort of
Probably just
something acquisition.
Yeah, something that
QLA Castle Seminar. That's the QLA This is the Castle Seminar.
Oh, I see. So he's just basically saying like,
You can do my system.
you can do my thing that you pay so much money to come do.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the thing about a lot of these sales guys. They're just selling sales.
Yeah, you gotta watch yourself with them, right? Because you're like, oh, I guess this guy's helping me out with my sales. And like, oh, wait a second,
Right. Yeah.
he's doing fucking sales on me. He can't stop.
Well, it costs so much money too. You know what I mean? Like these programs are so fucking expensive that it just, for me, it's like I feel like you got it or you don't. You know, because salespeople to me seem like they're born with it when you meet them. Like they're just generally people that don't get uncomfortable in social situations. And
Dan Peña for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely these guys. But you're right. It does feel like the people who are actually going to those things and paying the money are just dummies getting duped. Sorry if you're listening and you've done that. But yeah, because anyone would realize, like, if they were good at it, they would realize I can just go on the internet and find this information that I need to be a good salesperson in this day and age, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucinda Burke sold knives door to door. Knives. One of the staples or principles or precepts of the book by Dr. Salk about raising kids, that my mother found the book in 1946.
Here we go.
The year after I was born, and he wrote a book that sold 55 million copies, was you have to raise your children never using the word no. Now, for those of you, have kids, how in the fuck do you raise a child never saying no? I used to like to go to the plugs and stick my fucking tongue in the electric plugs.
Okay.
Now they got caps and shit that you put over the plugs.
Oh.
Yeah, that might. Okay, I'm starting to get a more clear picture of you as a person.
It seems like he's mad that they cover the plugs too. Did you? Now they got caps and shit. These kids now can't even stick their tongue in a plug.
God.
All right, he's onto something.
But how do you raise a kid not using the word no? There are ways, okay? And there are templates for that. And you reframe it, rephrase it.
You could say "fuck
But
you"
when
to your kid.
the girls at my 50-year reunion were meeting Sally, they said that Dan never knew the word no. He didn't know
Well,
what the word no meant.
oh,
That's
I don't know.
gross.
That's such a good thing for them to be saying about you at the reunion or whatever. But anyways,
And to this day, no is not no. No is I haven't given you enough information. That's what no to me is.
Okay.
To
And
me,
Bruce the Whipple would
this
tell
man
you.
has sort of lost the thread. He's just sort of speaking around the theme of the word no, but not really finishing any specific thought.
no, it comes from the Latin non. Like, he's
Right.
getting into the
Well, I think
But like
what
he
he's-
didn't even finish his thought about how to raise a kid without saying no. He just said, "You can do it."
he's not a great speaker.
Well, I think what he's trying to do here, because this is his page, I think that what he's trying to do here is sell the seminar. In that,
so
like,
you're like, "Ooh, I need to know what he said there."
I see.
yeah, how does he say no? How did he do that? You know?
Okay. Oh, yeah, and it gets you, a little bit whetting your appetite for it. You're just getting a little bit jazzed up, and then boom, then he hits you with the sales pitch.
Yeah.
17 no's to get a yes. 17. Some of you have never made 17 presentations. Forget it. I'm being smart ass. Some of you haven't given 17 presentations in your whole sales career, let alone the one prospect. 17 no's to get a yes.
That person just was like either scared for their safety or whatever, or just like so incredibly annoyed and just wanting this person to go away.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. 17 no's.
Yeah, he said no
Yeah.
17 times, and then
It's
he
like-
got a yes.
Might be like criminally, you might be able to be charged criminally for
Threatening.
something.
He's threatening.
Harassment,
Yeah. Well, there's only less than a minute left, so let's write it out.
Now you cut that in half if you're good. And if you're super good, you cut that again in half.
Oh.
But even I got 2 or 3 no's. But I mean, it just went in one ear, and some people say because they got nothing in it, it just went out the other ear. I
Wow,
didn't pay
because they
attention.
got
I
nothing
didn't
in
give a
that.
Yeah, because there's two.
Did you catch that? The
too
reason it went
stupid.
one in one ear out the other is because they got nothing to block it in the middle. I never thought of that.
Because they're too stupid. to
Normally
say
it would
no.
hit the brain and it would stay in there.
But he's saying that about himself.
Yeah, I don't know if
He's
he
too
is. It's-
stupid to accept the word no. It just goes out the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And he's not at that end of the continuum, but he's close to that end of the continuum. And the little shit is, and I don't mean little shit in a demeaning way, because he's not a big
Okay,
guy.
but by the way, can you see that it keeps playing That Is One Big Pile from Jurassic Park on a television behind him? It's just a meme and it's like a GIF that keeps
It's
playing
something.
on repeat over and over again.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's a pile of
Something
dung.
I mean, it's better than terrific. I don't know, whatever word is. I don't like to use the word awesome. I just when I hear that, I just want to punch their teeth in. But he's doing awesome.
Okay, well, that is Dan Peña.